Although there's certainly been at least a measured peace in Israel over the last couple of months, there's also been some heightened concern in the Jewish nation over recent activity by Iran's military. And on his recent weekend program this week on Capitol Hill, Tony talked about the tenuous ceasefire situation with U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee, who urged people around the world to be praying for Israel during this holiday season. And we'd like to share that conversation with you now. So here's how Tony got it started.
Well, Merry Christmas to you. And I know this is your first Christmas in Israel, to actually be there for Christmas. So it's got to be kind of exciting.
It is going to be. Our family's going to go to Bethlehem on Christmas Eve. We'll be there for the midnight Christmas service at Church of the Nativity. Enjoy Manger Square. It'll be a special time. And, I hope around the world people will be praying that this will be a peaceful Christmas and that it will lead to a peaceful 2026.
Well, those words in that Christmas carol, peace on earth, goodwill to men, take kind of a, I think a very important, have a very important meaning this year.
They really do. We have a ceasefire in Israel that has lasted just a little over a couple of months now. President Trump's incredible leadership to get all the Arab nations to Sharm el-Sheikh to sign the agreement that says Hamas has to go and the hostages have to come home. Truly historic. It's been a remarkable couple of months. No rockets, no missiles. Many Israelis, for the first time in quite a while, are experiencing peaceful evenings of sleep, and it's something that they haven't had in a long, long time. And I don't think most Americans can understand what that's like. It's like having several tornado sirens go off night after night after night, and it has a cumulative effect. But there is a great relief and a great appreciation for President Trump in the U.S.
So most of the hostage, all the hostages, but the body of one remaining hostage has not been released. When you look at what Israel has gone through over the last 2 years, we now have peace. As you said, that for 2 months now we've had this ceasefire has been held. Phase 2 of this agreement is upon us, but yet we've not seen Hamas disarm. Are they going to be disarmed? Is Hamas going to go away?
I think they will, because President Trump promised they would, and he's pretty good at keeping his promises. So I'm confident that if they think that they can wait him out, they're probably making as big a mistake as Iran did when Iran thought that he wasn't serious when he told them they couldn't have a nuclear weapon and that they weren't going to enrich uranium. He answered them with a B-2 bomber on a Saturday night, and I think I hope it got their attention. If it didn't, he knows how to do it again. Hamas has to understand they have no future there. The disarming of Hamas is the single most difficult part of the peace agreement, the most difficult part to implement. But I'm optimistic that we're going to get there, because even all the Arab nations signed on to a commitment that Hamas would be disarmed and they would be expelled and moved out of Gaza, as they should be.
As I understand the situation, Ambassador, Hamas is kind of being quarantined, if you will, into one part of Gaza, and reconstruction and cleaning up the other areas has already begun.
There are two basic zones. The more western front of Gaza, facing the Mediterranean, is basically the red zone. That's where Hamas has strength. They're still there, mostly around Gaza City and Khan Yunis. The eastern part of Gaza, all the way down to the south, including Rafah, that area is considered the green zone. It's the zone that has pretty well been demilitarized. The Israelis have control of it now. They don't want to stay there. I hope people don't think the Israelis want to permanently own Gaza. They don't. They would love just to get away from it, let others govern it, take care of it, rebuild it, and let them go back to tending the land that is theirs, and that's all they've really wanted. But it is going to take some combinations of deprivation of resources getting to Hamas. That's underway. And then at some point, it probably will require kinetic action on the part of a police or military force that basically says to Hamas, if you don't lay down your weapons, we'll lay them down for you. As President Trump said to them, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
You mentioned the international force, the stabilization force of the various Arab nations, Islamic nations coming in. There has been some concern expressed on behalf of Israel about Turkey in particular coming in to Gaza and being there on the ground. What are you hearing? What's the latest on that?
I don't think Turkey's going to have a military role because it would be very difficult for the Israelis to ever say that's okay. It would have been okay 10 years ago when Turkey and Israel had a very warm relationship. But as you know, President Erdogan has made some very incendiary comments regarding Israel. Things like that they will restore the Ottoman Empire. They will take every inch of Jerusalem. You know, some people say, well, he's just blustering. He really doesn't mean it. That's not serious. But let me tell you something. The mind of people in Israel is that they've listened to people tell them for all these years since they came back to this land that God gave them. And they keep being told, we're going to kill you. We're going to annihilate you. We're going to take you out from the river to the sea. And they have to at some point start believing that when people tell you over and over they're going to kill you, they probably are at least going to try. So don't let them.
Oh, Mr. Ambassador, I mean, just the events of this last weekend show us that that is the case. I know we've been talking about Israel and what's been unfolding in Gaza, but even though there might be peace there, at least a managed peace, we're seeing continued anti-Semitic attacks inspired this last weekend in Australia by ISIS. Just about 45 seconds left.
It's a disgusting thing when you see the anti-Semitic activities that somewhat are an outgrowth of the attitudes and the silence. My speech teacher in high school used to tell us, silence is agreement. And when people see this Jew hatred across the world and they don't say anything and they don't do anything, you end up creating the atmosphere in which something happens like what happened in Australia. And we as Christians need to say, we're not going to be silent. We will speak up.
Ambassador Mike Huckabee, always great to see you, my friend. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I look forward to seeing you in Israel in this coming year.
Indeed. Next year in Jerusalem, Tony.
All right, I'll see you there.
Well, that was Tony's conversation with U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, on This Week on Capitol Hill.